What's good? What's good? I'm back. Yours truly, one and only Paul Pickett, host of the Paul Pickett Podcast, aka Triple P, aka the Common Sense Podcast, your source for music, sports, politics, sport events, and much, much more. Today, I'm going to react to a video where Ed Lover breaks down why rap music is trash nowadays. This is a mathhoffa video. Shouts out to mathhoffa, man. His podcast is every bit of what Vlad TV wishes his podcast could probably be. But before we get into that, it's only fitting that I play a Dizzle brand commercial and I play the Chip Fu Dizzle brand commercial since we're going to be talking about hip hop today. And I'm going to be trying to react to a lot more controversial topics in hip hop and music culture. And because I've been doing a lot of sports topics, a lot of culture issues, political issues, and things of that nature. So I need to ramp up the music topics as well because this is a sports, music, politics, and world events podcast. Well, let's get into it. Dizzle brand, premium luxury liqueur, and chip food.
Are we drinking?
Me and my team, whenever we link up, they gonna be drink up. We sit down, relax, and have few glasses when there's things to think about. Like I'm nice with the boss when I tend to the bars, and I'm not talking drink ups. So tell the bartender that's tending the bar to please pass me a big cup up. And tell that waitress that's waiting on us to put a little ice in it. Now watch the ice become weightless like the spaceships that I be sitting in. No wait and listen, no, they're waiting for that tropical twist that'll tickle your taste buds. Now taste some. Yo, I insist it's the
Dizzle.
I really mean it. Dizzle is a mixture of agave tequila, cognac, and orange liquor mango mix. Just throw your Dizzle on ice, and it's nice. If you want to order your very own bottle or bottles of Dizzle Premium Luxury Liqueur, go to dizzlebrand.com. You see it scrolling below. Do you Dizzle? Dizzlebrand.com. Go there, click on our locations. Click on one of the top 3 website links. I would recommend Emilio's Beverage. It's the cheaper link. And below that is actual locations in California, Oklahoma, Kansas, and Arkansas. And don't forget, when ordering online, you must be 21 and over. Shipping and handling is included. Don't forget the Dizzle brand merch. Go to dizzlebrand.com, click on merchandise store. They got the hats, t-shirts, hoodies, sweatshirts, and more. Also, you can get it at etsy.com. That's ETSY.com. Search for Dizzle brand or go to etsy.com/shop/Dizzle brand. And don't forget, there's the Dizzle brand gummies as well. Go to dizzlenova.com. Link will be in the description. I repeat, for the Dizzle brand gummies, go to dizzlenova.com. And as a guy who blazes every day, I will say the Dizzle brand gummies, I was impressed. I didn't know what to expect, but the strawberry ones are wow. They're so good. You could just eat the hell out of them just because they're so good. But don't forget they're Delta 8 gummies, and you don't want to do that. All right, let's get into it. Ed Lover breaks down why rap music is trash. I really like this this interview here. I had an interview just the other day with Mutate God and Will Boy Digital. I think Ed Lover is going to touch some of the topics that we were talking about. I think he's going to touch some of those things, and I'm going to get into those are the things that I think that he says that I was talking about that I agree with, and some of the things that Mutate God was saying that Ed Lover kind of brings up some points that I think are kind of significant to what he was saying as well. Let's get into it. Expert opinion. Ed Lover's expert as it gets.
A lot of these people that are rhyming right now don't have the talent. They have the popularity. And because everything is so quick in our phones, and they get 14 million people following them, and they put a record, oh, you got 14 million. We can increase that. We can change that over to streams, and we'll make money. There's a difference, Math, and y'all, to getting up and walking outside and going to the store and buying an album.
Yeah.
Facts.
When Get Rich or Die Trying came out, I was next door neighbors with Chris Lighty. God rest his soul. Chris took me in the basement on his Apple computer and showed me the f***ing album cover of 50 Cent's Get Rich or Die Trying. I'm like, this is about to go crazy. The album came out.
Let me stop right there. I'm not gonna lie, man. 50 Cent's album cover was probably the second best album cover I'd seen in hip hop up to that point. The number one album cover to me of all time was the Ice-T cover. Because they had the front back in the days, you had the front cover and the back cover. On the Ice-T, had Ice-T, this one black dude, and this fine Latin chick. And she was holding a shotgun or something. And Ice was standing there with his hand behind his back, and the other guy kind of had his hand behind his leg. Well, when you watch the back cover, the dark skinned dude at the end has a shotgun hiding behind his leg, and Ice-T has a 6-shooter. I think it was a 6-shooter, like Colt 45 or something behind his back. But old girl was showing her her shotgun or whatever it was on the front and whatnot. But the 50 Cent was amazing because it was him holding a gun and it showed like broken glass, like he shot the gun and it was breaking the glass. I thought it was 50 Cent's cover was definitely one of the most amazing covers in hip hop, if not the first, the second most amazing hip hop cover I've ever seen. And just off that cover, you better know that this album is going to be something.
On a Friday, I didn't get that album till like that Tuesday because I couldn't find it. There's difference when you putting your money down.
The album sold 10 million out the gate. Damn near. I mean, you hear that? The album drops on Friday. He couldn't get it to Tuesday till they brought in because I think every Tuesdays back then is when they dropped all the new records. So he had to wait till a new shipment of the 50 Cent records came in to all the mom and pop stores. Because back then there was a ton of mom and pop stores. There was a few mainstream stores, that would have music in it, like Target and stuff like that. But Target didn't come like late into the mix later, and Best Buy and things of that nature. Mainly at first it was like you had Coconuts and but in Fayetteville it was Coconuts and a bunch of mom and pop stores, or you had to go to the flea market and get the bootleg. It wasn't like New York where people were out in the streets with bootlegs, like on the side street with a whole crate of bootlegs. Now people would hustle bootlegs in the streets, but they would probably be driving around delivering them house to house. Somebody called like, yo, I want to get some, new albums or some new movies. Because most people didn't just bootleg music either. They would bootleg the movies and the music when that came about. You know what I'm saying? But early days, it was just when it was just cassettes. Yeah, you would just go to the flea market if you wanted bootlegs. And there would be a guy that have the different cassettes. And and that's the thing, as a kid growing up, my mom didn't have a car, so you couldn't get all the way to the mall to get, or get the Paradise Records on the other side of the mall to get the original copies. So as a kid, you didn't know no better, you know what I'm saying, and whatnot. But consumer music was so different then, because you would hear a song and you would actually go get the album and be anticipating to hear it. Now, he's about to explain how it's so different
Than when you stream it. Because if I got Math Hoffa as my artist and I could get Math Hoffa on the Drake playlist, when Math Hoffa record come up on the Drake playlist, he's gonna get credit for it. Mm-hmm. It doesn't mean that I wanted it. It means that it came up and I listened to it.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Right, what is it? Like at least 30 seconds, 20 seconds? What is it? I don't know. What is it?
I think it's 30 seconds.
30 seconds. So if I listen to 30 seconds of Math on the Drake playlist and say, fuck this record, he's getting credit for the stream.
Gets it. Yeah.
But it's different when you walk into the store and say,
I want that.
I want Get Rich or fucking Die Trying.
So the problem would essentially be access.
What he's saying is like, now we're consuming music we don't even like. Because you listen to it, then you don't like it, and you don't want to listen to it again, and you're not really interested in getting an album. But before, like every time you would go and as a customer buy music, you even if you was going to buy the bootleg, you was still, going to buy something that you want and that you like. And nowadays, you're getting a bunch of music thrown down your face that you don't like. Like you said, they throw the music on the playlist, and you might not necessarily want to hear that artist, like because you're going to Drake's playlist, you want to hear Drake music, but then they throw on a Math Hoffa song, and you're like, okay, well, I don't want to really hear Math Hoffa. I'm here to listen to Drake. So you throw music on there that they don't want to consume.
No, the access
The
is
access to it because you can get it so quickly.
Yeah.
In contrast to back in the days,
it
you got to go
decreases
buy
the
it.
value.
it decreases the value, and
Right.
every that want to rap can rap.
Right.
They ain't got to get no cipher. They ain't got to stand on the corner and battle everybody that come through. They don't have to talk to an A&R. A&Rs are no more.
Processes.
They don't have a process.
I want to chime in again. I'm going to be stopping a lot in this one because there's a lot of things he says. This is just really interested in me. We was doing an interview with Mutate God. He said something about which really stuck with me, that music was not meant to sell. And I think he's onto something, like as a physical product, especially nowadays. It makes it, to me, what I get from that is we were only meant to perform music live. We're only meant to perform it live. As a product, it's not typically meant to sell. Because he also asked another question, like in the streaming world, how much is a one listen worth? Not really nothing. It's not really nothing because, like I just said, they can listen to the music and not like it, And there's a lot of that going on nowadays. I mean, yeah, like everybody was saying, like, oh, Gunna's new album, he's rapping like his life is on the line. Nowhere near a Gunna fan, but I was like, let me see what Joe Budden's talking about. I'll go listen to it, and it's like you listen to the same song one after another. It's like, okay, I'll never listen to another Gunna song ever again. And that's the thing. The value went down because distribution is different. Distribution, no, it used to be back in the days, any and everybody couldn't get distribution. Now any and everybody has distribution. You can put out the music so fast, and so much of it is decreased the value. So another thing Mutate Guy was saying is, instead of really pushing the music as the forefront, you need to be pushing other products, other necessities. And and when you think of necessities, it's like, for example, like they said something about like Woodboy digital toilet paper, and I sit there and ask myself, what do I need more? If I'm going to buy something from Woodboy Digital, what do I need more? Do I need toilet paper or do I need their music? I need the toilet paper more. Everybody needs toilet paper. Everybody doesn't need music. So artists need to start providing necessities first and foremost. They need to promote necessities in life. T-shirts are necessities too. Everybody needs clothes, So if you're pushing the merchandise, the clothes, food products, everybody needs to eat. Everybody wants to, whether it's snacks or junk food, whether it's just a bowl of, like the Paul Pickett podcast cereal, Paul Pickett podcast chips or whatever. I'm just saying in reference, just throwing a name out there. People need to eat. So artists need to start providing necessities more, is what he was saying, instead of things people want. And you sell those necessities and get your name and your brand out there, and then they'll buy the things that you want, And Ed Lover kind of break that down with the popularity thing, like these cats, he's saying they're not making it off of the music. They're making it off of being popular, which is the same thing. Not pushing the music so much first, getting popular, then they're dropping the song, and all these people are reacting to it because they're already popular. So it's like nowadays the artists are really ass backwards because you can't really just make it solely off of the music. You can't just go spit 16 bars in front of somebody, just play one song. They want to see how many followers you got on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, Twitter, across the board. They want to see what your Spotify followers are like. That's the number one thing they want to see: Spotify followers and stream more than anything. So they want you to be popular before they sign you, which makes sense. That these artists have to get popular first, and then they push the music. Plus, the music is not that great, anyways, for them to get popular off of the music alone. So it's like a gift and a curse, you know. Keep it moving.
They could just rap.
Yeah.
Go to the bathroom, put some fucking egg
up,
cartons on the wall,
hang a mic.
make a rap, and make a good hook. Because the hook is everything.
Yeah.
That's
You know?
everything.
And that's it.
That's it.
I be just always. I be fucking bitches always. I be always. Yeah! I'm fucking I'm a New York.
Come on, beat.
Don't get nigga. You know you can do that. I'm telling you, I'm gonna talk to you. My own group is called OWN. OAN, old ass niggas. You know what I mean? To make me some money.
I can't use the N word, so I have to. I guess mine would be OAH. Old ass heads.
The point is, it doesn't have to be good. Like I told you earlier, right? I heard LL, I was like, I can't do that shit. Because the nigga was nice.
He's right, though. Nowadays, the music doesn't even have to be that good. They just got to be popular, and that's it. And I think that's why a cat like NBA Youngboy pumps out so much music, because maybe he understands that it's really just the popularity and that's selling the music, and not the music selling the popularity.
They don't give a fuck about nothing. All you gotta do is put 3 letters in front of your name, OANA. Oh, this nigga's with the OAN crew. They don't know what the fuck that shit means.
OAH Messiah.
It's not about hip hop no more. It's about streaming, algorithms, and money. And that's the reason there's been no album in 2023
No rap
or
album
single
number
that's
one.
hit number 1.
Yep.
Let me stop right there. As popular as hip hop has become and rap culture has become, like he said, it's not hip hop no more. This is rap. It's all rap culture nowadays, which rap is really just a small part of hip hop. So none of it is really that good. It's all about algorithms, it's all about money. That's why they don't care if there's a lot of bot heavy. That's another thing that in the interview we did, the sit down, when they brought up bot, and I was explaining, like, when people first was demanding to buy followers, and we were selling followers, nobody knew. I mean, nobody really knew, but everybody didn't care really either too, because major labels we knew major artists, like a big portion of their followers were fake. We knew they had millions of followers, and like 60% of them were like all fake followers and bots. Because it's been a numbers game. Like, labels are botting playlists. I've heard Spotify's done some shady thing as far as making like fake artist accounts. Like, they're not even real people. They're like Milli Vanillis, I guess you could say. Like, somebody made the music. And that's the thing. Somebody made the music, but there's no actual, like, it's like they own the rights to the music, and there's no actual face or person to the music to go on tour or anything of that nature. That dude that had a Roxanne song, I swear, I think he was a Milli Vanilli. I think he was a Milli Vanilli. His music video didn't come out till like a year after the song was like big as hell on freaking radio and Spotify. They didn't have no money for a music video through them. And anybody can lip sync a music video. We know that because you can lip sync a TikTok. Now you got AI making music, so people putting out AI music and getting streams off of that. And, when when you put out like AI Drake and Weekend song, you don't even need to use bots. You just need to release it as Drake and the Weekend.
Fucking trash. It's because y'all don't know how to make a good album. Remember the first time you heard Illmatic? Remember how you felt? Remember the first time you heard fucking Get Rich or Die Trying? Or the first time you heard Life After Death?
I feel for these kids because
I'm Ready to Die?
Damn, they
Black Steel in the Hour of Chaos. Do you remember the first time you heard that shit?
Yeah.
I got a letter from the government. Oh my
The other
God,
day,
I lost my
opened
fucking
the
mind.
Reddit. It said they were suckers. It wanted me
For the army or whatever, picture me giving a damn. I said never. Here's a land that never gave a damn. That nigga Chuck said, I'm on a tier where no tear should ever fall. My nigga just said he happy to be home.
Yeah.
He was on a tier where no tear should ever fucking fall. Chuck related.
You know, he's really getting down to some things here. Like these dudes on the mainstream scale. I mean, there's some underground cats like Russ and stuff like that, and Joey Badasses of the world. I like Freddie Gibbs. I mean, there's some cats out there that be saying some stuff, but for the most part, most mainstream artists in rap culture, they don't say shit. They're not saying nothing of substance. They all saying the same bullshit over and over again, rapping about the same bullshit topics over and over again. At least back in the days, there was variety. You had gangster rappers, you had pimpin' rappers, you had backpack rappers, lyrical rappers, conscious rappers. You know, you had just like rappers that didn't cuss at all, and then dudes that were just not necessarily gangster rappers, but were just hardcore rappers. You know, you had a lot of variety across the board, a lot of different, and even if dudes would use the same drum patterns and they would switch up the sounds so much, like maybe one guy's piano crazy, the other guy's violin crazy. You know, it would be something about it that would have an original sound to it. Nowadays, all the beats all sound the same, all the flows all sound the same. They all rap about all the same exact things. They just change the words of how they rap it and rhyme it. There's no variety. If it ain't for Kendrick and Cole, it's just completely all trash in the mainstream.
To what they were going through and made that shit real. These niggas is talking about, we were the drug dealing.
These are the drug
They were
users.
drug users.
Yeah.
I'm on Molly Percocet, nigga. Molly Percocet, nigga. How you taking Molly and Percocet? What the fuck is wrong?
Yeah, he said they went from us being the drug dealer rappers to now they the drug using rappers.
Going to sleep.
Are you crazy?
What's that?
Y'all niggas dying of fentanyl overdoses and y'all niggas is getting high. You know what, my man, I want to shout out my man DJ Mars from Atlanta. Mars said the difference in the music business now is the frequency that they're on. It's low frequency.
Hank Shockley. That's his science.
Is that what he said? It's low frequency.
The frequency of indulgence.
Yes. It's niggas that smoking hookah, sitting around, looking at other niggas that smoking hookah, sitting around. So you're not making inspiring music that make people want to get up, right?
Yeah, none of it like really. He's touching something here. That's why there's not a lot of really great music. A lot of great music is more up tempo, inspirational, feel good, at what we call feel good music. You don't get a lot of feel good music. Now you got this sad rap. A lot of it's just sad rap and trap. It's like depressive. Like you said, popping mollies, drinking lean, all the drugs that just make you not want to do nothing but lay around, be dumbfounded and stupid. Like that's the thing. I could smoke 1,000 blunts a day and still get all my work done, still knock out podcasts, still be aware of what's going on. It's mainly the only thing that puts me to sleep is the heat. If it gets too hot, walk out in the heat or something, it's super hot out there, that heat hits me, that could make me drowsy. But like I could smoke 1 trillion blunts a day and still not be dumbfounded. But they do all the dumbfounded drugs nowadays.
Right? When I was driving down 34th Street, and I didn't even know where that Puff was doing Sean John joint at Macy's. He was waiting for his car. I pulled over. I said, Puff, what's good? Hey, can you take me to the studio? My car's late. I said, get in the car. He said, you got a system? I was like, yeah. He pulled a CD out. He put it on. It was Hypnotized, but without the Biggie kick. It was just that beat and Biggie rhyming like crazy on it. So I pull up. Puff jump out because they all stand in front of the studio. I try to pull off with the CD. Oh! That shit, I would have had it without the chorus. But that shit made me go, oh my fucking God. When the first time Jay said, I'm a hustler, baby. The Neptunes made shit that made you want to get up. Jermaine Dupri and Jay did Money Ain't a Thing. It made you want to get up. The frequency is so low that they slow it the fuck down. Even Bobby Shmurda, right? You wanted to do the Shmurda dance when you heard that shit, right? Even with Young and...
Let me stop right there. I was a big Bobby Shmurda fan, man, when he first came out. And not even really the first single, the second single, when he did Bobby Bitch, I'm like, yo, and it's just his energy. And then there was a record with him and Chink Drugs, rest in peace to Chink Drugs, and him and Rowdy Rebel and Bobby Shmurda. Just his energy and his energy of his flow, you know what I'm saying, and whatnot. I get where he's coming from, and I ain't like, that's the thing. I'm not no shoot 'em up, bang bang gangster kind of cat. But see, I'm a person who just looks at music as just music. I don't take it literally, even if they literally do what they say they're rapping about. I still just take it as music and entertainment, because I don't assume that, I don't just suddenly assume that they're doing what they say they're doing until it just comes to light and we're like, oh yeah, well it came to light that Bobby Shmurda was really about what he was rapping about. You know what I'm saying? And hip hop definitely doesn't frown on that. They definitely salute being real and authentic to what you're speaking in your music, even though I think hip hop clings on that a little too much. I think that's why hip hop is dangerous as it is because you have to be real. You have to be real to the things you say in your music, and hip hop music is taken so literally, unlike pop or rock or anything else. It's another gift and a curse.
They made you want to get up. The frequency is so down now that it don't make you want to get up, and that's the problem with this microwave ass music, man.
Do you feel like not only that, but I feel like
not everybody.
Not everybody.
Right. We talk about him here. We talk about him.
Do you feel like, because I feel like there was guidance for us growing up, listening to these records. We caught jewels. We got the understanding of someone that was older than us. But now we're getting the understanding of someone who's 15 years old and they don't necessarily know life yet. They're giving a short amount of what they've experienced.
Ain't no necessarily to it. They don't fucking know life.
And it's being repeated over and over and over and over and over and over and over. You feel like there should be more rappers that's older rapping?
Yeah, I think older rappers should never stop making music.
Let me stop right there. I tried to bring this point up in the interview I did with Mutate Guy, and this was my point. What is a valid excuse that anybody can give me of why they can't make music anymore? I mean, even DOC, who lost his voice in a car accident, still ended up making an album. And the voice sounded terrible, but he still made an album. What excuse can you really give me? Blind Fury can rap blind. Nice as hell too. You know, like what excuse could anybody, especially this day and age, when he said it there, everybody's got home studio. You could just record in anywhere nowadays, any and everywhere. I've heard this story about Nori telling the story of DMX, where Nori had studio time paid up to record DMX, and he's following DMX all over the place before they record it. And they meet some dude, and the dude's like, yo, I got a studio right here. And X is like, man, what do you know? This guy's got a studio right here, some home studio. And Nori's like, man, I already got the studio booked, but it's X. Nori's trying to get the DMX side. I mean, he literally he lost money on studio time that he paid for, and they didn't even record in the studio. But that's because you record anywhere and everywhere nowadays. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, what's the excuse for old schoolers? What they say? What they gonna say, that they don't got a label behind them, they don't got a budget behind them. As long as they got somewhat of a name behind them, they can at least release music consistently and get some traction on the internet that they wouldn't get. And then they got some newer music to tour with when they do tour, instead of just their old school hits. They got some newer music, some more relevant music for the fans. Because I'm gonna tell you right now, man, going to a show and it like hearing the same, like go book, like I don't like to go to an artist show but so many times unless they're just a super great performer like Karis One or something. Like some of these artists, you're going to get but so many shows with their hits because they only got so many hits. I went to shows where the artist only got 3 hit singles. I'm not paying to watch you perform 3 hit singles again. And they had no new music whatsoever. You know what I'm saying? But I'm with Ed Lover on this. I'm just a strong component of what's your excuse? What's your excuse of why you still can't record music? At least record a single every 3 or 4 months and release that. And then you don't gotta do albums. Just a single every 3 or 4 months. Release a single. Stay somewhat relevant. Spotify has a lot of these old school playlists that get a lot of traction still. You typically might get added to those playlists, the 90s hip hop artist kind of playlist. I just don't think there's any excuse that anybody could give me for an old school musician to stop making music unless they've totally lost their voice or they had some stroke or they got some health problems. What's your excuse? I don't want to hear money's your excuse or that you can't record new music, because millions and millions of people recording any and everywhere, like he just said. Let's keep it moving.
Never.
I agree.
For no reason. There's no, even if it don't sell. I heard Daddy gonna say that one time. Don't stop making music. I think they get to a point where they feel like nobody want to hear them, but they don't understand that we do want to hear them. Like you should never stop making music. Right. Like albums.
And let me chime on that. Some artists, yeah, we still want to hear some of them. We still want to hear some of them make new music. And if you ain't making new music, though, we also probably ain't gonna be checking for you. That's the thing. It's hard to be checking for somebody when they're not making new music. And I totally agree with them on this. Even if it don't sell, even if you think that nobody wants to hear you, really, there's no reason, because there's no excuse of why you can't still. I just think, like, if you love making music, you should be able to make music to the day you die, and you should make music. That's if you love making music. Now, if you don't love making music, then it probably doesn't apply to you. So I question these old schoolers, how much did they really love making music? if they're still not making music. I'm with Ed Lover 1,000% on this.
I would love another Wu-Tang Clan collective album. I would love another Run DMC album. I don't give a fuck who don't buy it. I'm gonna get it.
Right.
I just think that they have said.
He's kind of right on it. It was Wu-Tang it's been so big. There's people that would love another Wu-Tang album. I know of somebody right now that would love another Run DMC album right now. I know a few people that would love another Run DMC album. Yeah, there's just certain artists we would love to hear a new album from. You know, I would love to hear maybe another MOP album right now. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I could go for another Organized Confusion album right now. You know, there's a few cats out there that like, and that's the thing. It only takes, like a few for me to want. You know what I'm saying? And they should be dropping music because there's other people that's gonna be thinking like me. You know, and that's the thing. You can't expect people to be diehard fans still if you're not making new music. You can't expect them to constantly just go listen to all the old music over and over again when there's 100,000 songs per day being released of new music. And some of those are good. You got the Killer Mikes of the Worlds and stuff. You got the, Joe Ortiz's, the Crooked Eye. I think it's King Crooked now. Your Royce the 5'9s. You never know when they're gonna drop albums and whatnot. There's still a lot of underground cats that still drop the Tech Nines of the worlds. And that's the thing. It just doesn't make no sense to stop making music if you love to make music.
Such a precedence over what music really is, what talent really is, that they should never stop making music. And I think that even if you reach out, even if they don't want to hear you, just reach out. I love when I see young niggas grab older niggas and make music with them. I think, when people did that, Kanye used to do that all the time, Yeah. He did records with Nas and Rakim and shit like that. But these younger niggas, sometimes they just don't do it because we didn't embrace them.
Yeah.
It's our fault.
Not just that.
I gotta chime in, man. We've always talked about this, the disconnect between this new rap culture and because there never used to be a disconnect. And he just said it. It's their fault because they didn't embrace them. They shitted on them. They talked down on them because they didn't like the sound. They didn't like the music. But if you just shit talk somebody, what are they supposed to just love you? They're supposed to just show you respect and homage and yeah, like I've been said this, and it's up to the old school at this point to throw out an olive branch and hope and pray as people do that it's gonna work because they didn't embrace them, they looked down on them, shit talked them. That's the thing. There's a lot of rappers that I don't like their music, but I respect them totally. I understand that there's some kind of grind or work ethic there that I have to apply, whether I like the music or not. Like NBA Youngboy, I don't like really none of his music, but I have a lot of respect for this guy because I think he understands in a super oversaturated world where 100,000 songs are being released every day, and you're not just competing with 100,000 songs when you get to platforms like Spotify, Apple, and YouTube nowadays, because you're competing with the podcast as well. And Joe Rogan is bigger than any artist on Spotify, so you compete with Joe Rogan for listeners as well. I can't like NBA Youngboy understands that you got to pump out a lot of content. And the content, I think he understands that the content nowadays isn't that great, isn't really timeless music. And so the time, the shelf time for it isn't really that long. You know, I mean, none of these people are putting out these massive hit records that just last for months. You know, like people just constantly still talking about them. All these songs nowadays, you know, the last super big record I could remember that came out that people were just like going crazy about for a hot minute might have been like Cardi B, man. I hate to say it, like Cardi B's first record. Which I'm not gonna lie, Cardi B's first record. Anybody who don't understand why it was a hit record just doesn't understand breaking records and music markets and things of that nature. There's just some songs. At first, I question, like, I'm like, why is this song as big as it is? Like Trap Queen, Fetty Wap. But then there's some records I don't even question, like Migos, Bad and Bougie. I didn't question that song one bit. One bit. Let me play this last little bit because I don't want to go too
But
far.
a lot of these the younger generation, they're coming up, and my parents were not good parents. They don't even trust adults.
Yeah, because they ain't have no guidance.
Right.
I gotta stop here. And I think this is all I'm gonna play in the video. That's probably the icing on the cake right there. This young generation has terrible parents. Like, you know, when I see the Chicago video, and you got Brandon, whatever his name is, the mayor talking about these kids gathering, but they're mobbing in the stores and ransacking them. Yeah, the first thing I ask myself is, where the fuck is all their parents at? Where is all the parents that are allowing this shit to go on? And why are they not sure? Why are they not having any shame about this? Why are they not embarrassed about this? You know, why are they condoning this? Yeah, I think the parents nowadays are terrible. So the kids are coming out with no morals, no values. They don't respect adults because they ain't been taught any respect nowadays. Yeah, think they hit on the nail. And the music, the music nowadays, I don't know that it's ever going to get back to like this feel good music that we hear in the music business. Like you only hear that now in pop music, country music, maybe rock music. You don't hear it in hip hop no more. You don't hear feel good music in hip hop no more. It's just trap, sad rap, you know. And even like you got the song I was talking about the other day. I like it though. What is it? Chief Keef featuring 50 Cent and Wiz Khalifa. It's a banger. It's a banger, but it's got a good beat. It's got a good hook. And you got two dudes rapping on it that can actually rap. That can actually rap. That actually know how to rhyme the beats and have deliveries. Wiz Khalifa and 50 Cent kills it. 50 Cent can rap any style, up north, down south, Midwest, West Coast. 50 Cent just knows how to rap, you know. And that's the thing. Chief Keef, we actually did promotion for Chief Keef for 30 days, and we couldn't explain to him that your music only brings a certain kind of fan base. And the song I'm talking about with Chief Keef ain't even rapping on the song. He only did the hook. You know, so yeah, like if you want people who listen to music of substance to listen to your music, then you need to have people. You either need to rap with substance or you need to have people featured on your music who rap with substance. That's why you see cats like 21 and Savage and J. Cole. Like they're able to tap into each other's markets because 21 Savage is able to pull in a little bit of that J. Cole fan, and J. Cole's able to pull in a little bit of 21 Savage fans. And you only need to pull in a little portion, a small portion, because you're not probably going to pull in the whole portion. You know, because I would think that most 21 Savage fans aren't gonna really listen to J. Cole music because they're simple. Most of them are simple-minded fucks. But you need to if you could pull in a portion of those simple-minded fucks, just because 21 Savage did the song with J. Cole, then it works, and vice versa. But you don't see a lot of that going on nowadays. You don't see a lot of the, cats doing songs with J. Cole because they understand that if I do a song with J. Cole, I could pull in his fan base. J. Cole typically only rhymes with cats that typically can rhyme. Because a lot of these simple-minded trash rappers, they don't get it. They don't understand, if you want to expand out your fan base, you got to have a cat like J. Cole or Kendrick Lamar or maybe a Big Sean or somebody of that nature. This is the thing. The less gangster you are or the less shoot 'em up, bang, bang you are, the bigger your fan base is going to be. Cole, Kendrick, and Drake have been considered top 3 or at least top 5 in the rap game for over a decade, simply because neither one of them is shoot 'em up, bang, bang, I sell drugs. Now they might do some I fuck bitches on there, but they're not shoot 'em up, bang, bang, gangster, I sell drugs, trap hard, pop mollies, none of that simple-minded, basic-minded shit. So yeah, man, the music nowadays, it probably ain't gonna get no better on a mainstream scale. The labels at this point want it to pretty much stay the same. They don't care. And I like what Ed Lover says, because I think he validates some points of the last interview where Mutate guy was talking about, pushing products and let the product sell the music, because the music nowadays for most of these cats is trash anyways, and music's not a necessity, and streaming is not really dealing with physical products anyways. And I like what Ed Lover was saying about when you listen to music nowadays on streaming and you listen to it the first time, don't even like it. Back in the days, nobody was really listening to music that they don't like that. They might see a music video that they didn't like, but they wasn't running out to buy the music afterwards if they didn't like it. And we're paying for music. We're paying to listen to music that we're more likely not going to even like at first. So that's crazy. Once again, I'll thank you for tuning in to Paul Pickett Podcast, and I'm out.